Hello and welcome back. Today we're going through another £500 worth of £2 coins, looking for commemoratives, ones with more than face value, but ideally looking for ones we're still missing from the book. We've got 3 Commonwealth games still to find: Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland. Otherwise we need the Navy Centenary with the flag era, whether that's the partial or full flag era, then anything after Great Fire of London, which allegedly have been minted for circulation, but we're still waiting to see many of them trickle out into our change. So let's get into this bag and see what we find. We'll open the first bag and I'll show you what we're looking for. So that is the Technologies design, definitive design up until 2015. I will check for rotation errors, double die errors on them, but there are no years that are low enough that I think that they're worth keeping. Ideally want some commemoratives, which is not going to happen in this first bag. It's the case, unfortunately, of the diddlies. But I believe this is my first coin hunt for 2024. New year, new hunt. Let's see how lucky 2024 ends up being for us, which will be quite exciting to see what we find. This is Brunel's portrait, a fairly common design. It is a commemorative though, our first one out of the blocks. And of course the 2024 annual sets are going to be made available to purchase very, very soon. As of recording, we don't know the exact date they're going to be available, but we would imagine quite early in the new year. We have seen the designs and I'm very excited. I think it's a very cool collection of designs. Even the £5 coin, which again I know £5 coins aren't everyone's favourite type of coin, but the Buckingham Palace £5 coin I think is a lovely design. Robert Burns there, fairly common, but a smidge over face value. Not the most common like say Brunel, but not the rarest like a Commonwealth Games, but it's still to the right buyer who needs it for their collection. A bit like this one, Charles Darwin, does sell for a smidge over face value. So yeah, Buckingham Palace I think is a beautiful design. I think it's a really, really smart one. Then the 50p's we've got Team GB, which I think is stunning. I think Team GB is my favourite design out of the whole set, an early contender for coin of the year. And then I think it's such a cool design, which it doesn't just say what it is, it shows what it is, which I think is really neat in a coin design. Right, that's the Army Centenary. Should we check for the rotation error, which allegedly is out there? Nope. And if it's 2016, we check the age and description for King and Country. So that's as it should appear in circulation. Jodie Clark's 5th and final portrait of the Queen. It is, of course, Shakespeare's comedies, the rarest of the 3 Shakespeares, so a welcome find for sure. Another Army Centenary there. No rotation error for King and Country. That's all fine then. So yeah, the Team GB, it shows what it is rather than says what it is, and I love the little hidden Eiffel Tower, because obviously the Olympic Games this year are being held in Paris. No, that's fine. I don't know why I thought that was something odd. Because what else was there? £2. What was the other £2 coin? 50p. Oh, the RNLI, which we'll call the RNLI because I can never remember. It's the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. Is it national? I can't remember. Right, Rugby World Cup there. Another fairly common one. But no, great organisation, celebrating their 200th anniversary this year, which is quite cool. And it's a lovely design. Again, it does say RNLI on it, but it's hidden in the design in a very clever way. So it doesn't just say RNLI with a bit of design around it. The design it feels like the design has preference or is more important than the actual saying what it is, if that makes sense. But right, anyway, Britannia became the definitive design in 2015. We'll see what year this one is. 2016, so one of the more numerous years, but still a smidge over face value, so we'll pop that down the bottom. Welcome back. Oh, 2016, we need to check the age inscription. Yeah, that looks right. I can't tell you what it is because it's in Latin. I don't know how to pronounce the Latin, so it's just by eye, recognising that the letters are the letters, or the words are the words, I should say. So £2 coins then in the annual sets. We have got the National Gallery, which I think is quite a nice design. There's a lot going on in the bottom half of it, and it's a bit empty at the top, and I think that's a nice sort of counterpoint to it. So I think, again, a coin I think looks lovely. And then on to the last one. I think we've covered them all yet. The last one in that set is, of course, Winston Churchill, which is the only one I think it might be a bit of a swing and a miss, because it's a portrait of a younger Winston Churchill, which of course makes sense because everyone was young once. Some of us for longer than others. Right, active union, check for the rotation error. Sadly not on that one, so top row that goes. But I think if you're asked to imagine Winston Churchill, you picture the Churchill that was on the 1965 coronation crown, or the 2015 which is the Winston Churchill £5 coin. Oh, Charles Dickens there. Again, very common. Yeah, it's the older man that we all recognise, sort of service during the Second World War and onwards. That's the Churchill that's in our mind, that's on the £5 note. So when I first saw the image of the Churchill £2 coin, it wasn't the best quality image as well. And I saw the images and not just what they were supposed to be designs representing. So I thought, oh, that looks like King George VI. So I was a little bit surprised by that. Again, it might be one that grows on me, and I always reserve judgment until I've got the actual physical coin in my hand. As I've always said, back in 2019 when I saw the first images of the 2 Paddington Bear 50p's for that year, I thought, oh, these look a bit naff. And then when I had them in my hand, I thought, oh, actually, I do like them. They do look quite nice. So yes, I don't think Churchill isn't going to be my coin of the year, I don't think, but it might be better in person than it is on image. That's Trinity House, again, fairly common. But no, it's quite exciting because, oops, it's sort of like the annual sets are a bit of a, they're a kickstart to the 2024, they're a kickstart to the New Year's worth of coins, and if it's a strong start to the year, that fills me with hope. Abolition of the slave trade there, top row that goes. Because I remember in 2023 we had the annual coins came out, and on first look it was a bit like other than the J.R.R. Tolkien £2 coin, which I think is my coin of the year for 2023. I think it's such a lovely design. Other than that one, there was like the NHS was a bit meh. It was just lots of words on a coin, which I know some people have more of a problem than others. I can't remember what else was in the set. Was it Windrush? Which again, initially from looking at the design, it didn't look amazing. When the coin came out, it looked better, but with the colour version, that was a real. I didn't like that. The way that they colorized the Union flag, I thought sucked a little bit. Right, Lord Kitchener there, fairly common coin, but you need to check for the mule error, which you can tell by looking at the head side, the obverse. It should say £2 at the bottom here, like it does on this one, but there are versions of the Lord Kitchener £2 coin, so this isn't the case for all £2 coins. This one specifically, if you flip it over, it should say £2 there. But the wrong die was used on one half of the coin for some of them. We don't know exactly how many, and that would make it a rather rare and valuable coin. So yeah, what else was in the annual set last year? Oh, the steam locomotive, the Flying Scotsman. I quite like that design actually. That was a positive. The £2 are strong. I can't remember what the £5 coins were. What was it in 2023? The £5 coin. Oh, it was the King's 75th birthday, which again was pretty powerful course for a £5 coin. It was a nice enough design, no grumbles about it. But the 50p's were quite a letdown last year. Brunel's achievements, Archers at Paddington Station. That's our second of the 2 Brunel coins. But the big question is, will any of these 2024 commemoratives be going into circulation? The answer at the moment is we don't really know. It has been teased by the RNLI that one might be going into circulation. I think the RNLI put out a poll to say if you find this coin in your change, would you keep it or spend it? Which that might be an indication that it is going to go into circulation, or there is plans to put it into circulation. It might just be a case of whoever runs the RNLI social media has assumed, oh, we're having a coin made, it's going to go into circulation, not realizing that yes, some of them don't go into circulation. So holding fire on the final confirmation that's gone into circulation until there is confirmation from the mint or elsewhere that it has actually been minted for our change. The one I would love to see in circulation is that new Team GB 50p. I think it's such a cool coin. I'd love to come across that in my change. I think, again, what I like about coins is that many of us started collecting coins because we found a coin with an interesting design and we think, oh, what's that all about then? It's a bit more obvious for that one, but you have a look online, because 9 times out of 10 it's people think that's got an interesting design, that must be rare and worth a fortune, and they find out that actually it's not worth a fortune, but they still then discover that there are a whole bunch of different coins out there that you can collect. And I think the Team GB one and the RNLI are definitely designs that do that. So I am hopeful that they will go into circulation. But the concern is, of course, the new definitives being released last year and probably being circulated throughout the rest of this year, that they might get preference. Right, I didn't do an edge hunt, apologies about that, I had too much to prattle on about. So this is the last hunt, the last bag for the new, this is the last bag of the first hunt of the new year. There we go. I got it in the right order that time. Links as usual are in the description over to my coin collecting Discord server if you want to come over and join that. There's also links to my other social media channels, the PO Box address if you want to write into me, and of course a link to the Britannia Coin Company's YouTube channel, the company I work for as my day job, so please do go and check them out too. We end the hunt with another abolition of the slave trade. The hunt is done, but the search is not. I'm going to whiz through all these coins and see if there are any edge inscriptions, rotation errors, double die errors, those kind of things. Unfortunately, no errors found in amongst all of those coins, which is a shame, but the errors aren't all that common. Otherwise, they wouldn't be exciting to find, would they? So there we go. Nothing new for the book, because again, we're still stuck on the last few coins to complete this book. But in terms of our star finds, oh, I don't know, any of the 4 on the bottom row, I guess. They're all a bit of a par. But you'll have to let me know in the comments what you would pick as your star find from today's video. It's always interesting seeing what coins you guys are liking, and all it leads me to do is thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more coins. Bye!